Hey, Kevin Wright here. I thought you'd be interested in a question that came up at one of my recent Monday morning Q&A sessions. I go out live on YouTube at 8:30 every Monday morning, and a bunch of people jump on and ask me questions about property finance, and I answer them. So watch this video to see what answer I gave to this question. Will lenders look at a freehold purchase or lease extension as a good reason to revert to open market valuation when remortgaging before 6 months? And he's rephrased that another way, which is, how do lenders view, in inverted commas, paperwork development? What he means by paperwork development is where you don't actually do any work to the property physically, because most of the time, someone buys a property, adds value in a short period of time to forcibly appreciate the value. They do that by means of a refurb, but a refurb is not the only way to do that. You can do paperwork development, which is a nice phrase, actually. I like that, Rob. Yeah, it's a good phrase, paperwork development. So what we're looking at here, okay, so this is altering the status of a property in some way by doing some paperwork exercise. Now, one of the most obvious ones would be planning permission. So if you take a property and you get planning permission on it, you've done no work to the property, but you will add value. Planning permission is an old established but still current way of paperwork development, adding value. So you take a flat with a short lease, let's say less than 50 years, but probably less than 70 years would apply, but let's say less than 50 years. So if you then increase the lease and you add typically another 90 years onto the lease, are you going to increase the value? Absolutely you are. You're going to put it back up to its full market value, because a short lease flat would be a declining or decreasing asset, not an increasing asset like most properties are. So, a short lease flat would, in a stagnant market, would lose value each year as the lease ticked down. So adding to the lease to bring it back up to 100 years plus would certainly add significant value. Now, neither of those are without cost. So there's a cost for planning, and the more extensive the planning, the more the council are going to charge to administer it. And there's certainly a cost, sometimes a quite significant cost, with extending the lease on a leasehold flat. What are other things? So other things that Rob suggests is buying the freehold of a property. So you've got a leasehold and you manage to buy the freehold. That would add some value, typically. And title splitting. Title splitting is typically where you've got a multi self-contained unit building, typically it'd be flats in most cases, on a single title, and you look to add value. You're not going to do anything to the properties themselves. You're not going to refurb the flats themselves, but you're just going to put them on individual titles. Now, that's a relatively low cost exercise. It's just the cost of a solicitor creating a long lease. Typically, it will be a 125-year lease. So you probably do that for less than £1,000 per lease. What value you create? Well, that would be different in different areas. In areas, I mean geographical areas, different regions. So I would always check this out, because you don't want to spend money when you're adding no great value. So it's good to check that out with a RICS valuer. So really, will lenders look at paperwork development as a good reason to increase the value? Yeah, they would, in almost all circumstances. Yeah, so you could. So he's saying, well, clearly you could flip it and sell it for a higher value, but would mortgage lenders refinance it? Yeah, they would. Now, we're going to look at we'll take this more generally at the moment because everything's up in the air at the moment of what lenders aren't and aren't doing. So that would be the idea there. Now, if you found that question and my answer interesting, there's a whole load more of this that goes on a Monday morning. Now, you can either log in through YouTube or you can join my Facebook group, Recycle Your Cash for Property Investors, and get it streamed through there. The link is on this page. And if you want access to my whole back catalogue of Q&As, which is well over 50 hours of viewing time, then I've got a way to do that. Join Fiverr Tribe and you can get access to that back catalogue with a simple word search facility. So just type in the question that you want answers to and it'll come up on screen almost instantaneously all the times that I've mentioned your particular keyword. It's like having a property finance Wikipedia, I guess. How do you access this? By joining my Fiverr Tribe. Click the link on the page and guess what? It's a £5 a month. So I look forward to seeing you at future Q&As.